Hello and welcome back. This is Mario, and today I will be going back to my childhood. This is the very first racing game that I can really remember playing. Need for Speed 2. Now most of you should be familiar with the Need for Speed franchise. After really taking off with the Underground in 2003, I believe. This one came out in 1997. I would have been around 3 years old when this came out. Yeah, I had to be relatively new when I first started playing it. I have very, very vague memories as a child playing this game.
Located far from prying eyes, these remote testing grounds put some of the world's fastest cars through their paces. Although originally built for endurance testing, this track also makes for some adrenaline-pumping metal-on-metal competition. The high-speed tri-oval will allow you to keep the pedal matted as you strive to maintain perpetual top speed. But keep your eyes on the road, because at 200+ miles an hour, the slightest twitch could turn your exotic car into exotic scrap metal.
But I mean, yeah, I was like 4 years old maybe when I really started to play this game, so the memories are vague. I also believe that the version that my uncle had was not the SE version, just Need for Speed 2. Overall, it was a pretty decent racing game, fun to play, which is always, the most important part. But I mean, obviously it's a sequel to the Need for Speed, which was sponsored by Road and Track. They moved away from the sponsorship for the second game and decided to take a more, how can I say, arcadey approach to racing. With the first game, they were definitely trying to dig into the simulation market, which back in the day, I think it was 1995 or 4 when the first Need for Speed game came out. Simulation racing was not exactly a thing yet. As you can see, this is what the game looks like, or looked like. It should look a lot better when I'm playing it. These are just pre-rendered videos, or at least very poor captures from back in the day. Because, CDs couldn't hold that much information, so any video had to be highly compressed. I mean, the game has a selection of cars, all pretty exotic, some of them just prototypes even. So it has some level of customization here. Not a whole lot. So let's go with start off with my more favorite cars. Or actually my least favorite cars. Ones that I hardly ever use. The game has a certain amount of configurations. Let's keep it fair here. For some reason, traffic can only be turned on during certain circumstances, which is weird. I don't know how well I'll do here. So several gameplay modes. The main one being, you know, single race, one player. A couple level different settings. I'm not too sure what they all do specifically. So let's start off with arcade. One player with probably the slowest car in the game. One of. Let's see here. But yeah, I didn't spend a whole lot of time with this game. Obviously it's a sequel. I never played the first game, and this game came into my uncle's household at a time when I really wasn't allowed too much on the computer just yet. So I mean, I would see him play it and a lot of other people try it out. And it wasn't until they started letting me use the computer that I was able to really play the game. At which point, you know, I liked it. I love cars. I've always loved cars since I was very little. And this kind of just fed into it, you know. Let's go ahead and get this started. So yeah, with the first game, apparently they were trying to go with more simulation style gaming, or trying to simulate, you know, real world physics. But with this one, they started to go towards more of a arcade approach. A lot of people didn't like this, apparently. And so they backtrack a little with the third game from what I read. I haven't played the third game, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, or Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. But yeah, I mean, I started playing this game. I started to fall in love with it, with all the different cars. This car I'm not entirely used to using at all. Look at that, honking their horns. And of course, this being the SE version, it has 3D acceleration, hardware acceleration instead of software. I believe that since the original release did not have hardware acceleration, so it didn't look anything like this. So this looks still a lot better than I remember the game looking when I was a kid. I'm sure you can look up videos of the non-SC version and compare. Here I have it running with a pre-built glide wrap, I believe. So it takes care of making sure the game can run on a modern system. But this is the first track, obviously very easy. Very simple.
The NASCAR C2 wins!
You know, something that
Congratulations, you've won the race!
pretty sure it got lost in the later versions of the game is the commentator's voice. You know, them telling you what you got or what you did. No, you don't see that. in newer games, I don't think. Let's go to the next one. That felt quite easy. Probably be harder with different cars. So let's stick with these cars. Let's see. I did the Etal design. Let's do the Ferrari 355. No, this Spree V8. Ooh, orange. So I do remember orange being something that I could select for any of the cars. I don't know if that's something that you unlock or was like a mod that my uncle had installed, but I don't remember being limited to the colors. And you know, one of the things about these older games is that they have little descriptions of the tracks with voice dub over and everything. So let's check this one out.
Enjoy the breathtaking view as you cross over the Harbor Bridge into the bustling streets of Sydney. The steel and glass of the city soon gives way to the red sands of the desert. Here, you can lay it out on the sun-baked roads of the outback, where you'll encounter craters, rocks, and canyons that decorate this vast, arid landscape. Bring plenty of water for this race, because you may soon find yourself thirsting for more than just victory.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I wasn't too aware or concerned about the graphics, so, you know, this probably looked like the best thing ever to me, or I didn't care. I think I started to notice like actual graphics stuff. I didn't start noticing different graphical effects until after Underground 1. That was like in 2004. Because I remember playing Underground with settings that would mean that the game ran like crap, probably under 20 FPS. But I would let it do that because it looked cool. The graphics were, well, I liked the way the graphics look. I didn't care too much about the frame rate. I could tell that it was slow, of course, but it was stable, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it was only like 15, 20 FPS, but the game didn't crash, and the frame timing was fine enough for me to be able to control it. You know, it was just kind of like the game was running in slow motion. But I mean, I have no idea what frame rate the game ran on my uncle's computer. I can only imagine it was probably close to 30 FPS. Here I have it capped to 60 FPS. When I first tried to get the game running, I could not, for the life of me, get it to run properly. You know, it would just stutter all the time. Basically made the game unplayable. Because the stutters also introduced no input. So, you know, while it was stuttering, there was no way you could input. So, I mean, for a little bit, you know, I wasn't sure what to do to try and get the game running. Oh, check out that drift. Oh, you guys ruined it. See what you get. Well, it's getting hairy now. Oop. Can't go over the pavement. Invisible walls. Very 90s 3D gameplay. Invisible walls everywhere. All right, come on, come on. We got this. But I mean, yeah, I had to cap it at 60 FPS because it took me a while, embarrassingly, to realize that it was the fact that my screen refresh rate is 75 hertz. And you know, I've I've run into this issue many times before with older games going past 60 FPS and breaking. So yeah, a lot of older games relied on the frame rate for barriers and, you know, some calculations. So when the frame rate goes higher than the game was programmed to do, you get some weird stuff happening. And in this game, it would just cause, you know, stuttering. Well, not the fastest car in the back.
Time for this track.
Full gas, you know, I wasn't catching up to the other two cars, so whatever. Here's the next one. I believe this is based off of Mexico. Just check it out.
This tropical getaway has it all. Ancient lost temples, lush jungle vegetation, and even a rickety old bridge. Once you leave the comfort and safety of your hotel, get ready for a non-stop white-knuckle adventure through deadly twists, turns, and hills. As you enter the mouth of the ancient caverns, the monkey god Ekmel Ona challenges you with an unforgettable wild ride down past an ancient shrine buried in the depths of the earth. Here in the jungle, it's survival of the fittest, and this perilous high-speed course will push your survival skills to the limit.
Alright, so I do remember this track being a little bit tougher than some of the other ones. There's a particular spot where there's a lot of elevation changes that kind of screw with you, so I'm gonna go ahead and what was the simulation stuff, arcade. Let's go ahead and move it up to simulation, see how different that feels. What are the cars were in this list? So the Mustang Mach 3. Let's see what colors we got. Let's do green. Yeah, at the time my favorite color was orange, so vaguely remember getting teased by my uncle that all the cars I got were orange. Slipping. Okay, definitely feels different. Car is definitely looser. Let's see if I can catch up. It is not advanced. I not exactly warmed up to this game. I played it for like a couple days when I first got it to work and got kind of decently good at it again, but then I didn't play it again for, oh my goodness, for a couple of weeks and completely lost everything that I relearned. So now I'm relearning it. But I mean, yeah, I was playing this game back in 97, 98, maybe even 99. Actually, yeah, I was probably closer to 99. Now that I think about it. But yeah, this is the... I don't know how to go in reverse. Obviously the brake doesn't work. Alright, come on, come on, come on. I doubt I'm gonna catch up. But this spot right here is pretty tough. Going to that cave and then... It's like it dips down while it turns, so it's a weird turn. I believe that block does stop you if you try and hit it. Oh, oh, oh. Come on. Yeah, ain't no way I'm catching back up.
Final lap.
But yeah, no, definitely. Well, originally playing this game, I don't remember it looking this clean. Or have any kind of shading for that matter. No, this has some shadows and stuff. Oh, come on. How did that stop me? I was about to catch up, too. When I finally did start playing it, you know... Oh, 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 don't lose it. Come on. Then again, it might just be acting like a true Mustang and looking for crowds to eat. Look at that. What is that? But I don't very much remember this car when I first played the game. Then again, it could have not been included. There are some extra cars in the SE version. I think this might be one of them. Come on, don't lose it. Ah. Come on. There you go. Oh, come on. That wasn't that bad. If I wasn't continuously crashing, I'd be in the front. But look at that. We're going uphill, so now I can't go up. What the heck is that? I'm giving it gas. I'm just sliding backwards. Come on. Come on. But I mean, talk about, you know, early track designs where they didn't they probably didn't even test that portion to make sure that couldn't happen, or maybe they did it on purpose because, you know, potentially in real life that could happen in a way if your car is not powerful enough, can't get up the hill. But in this case, you know, it has more to do with, you know, the tires are slipping And there's no way to modulate the gas here, you know, it's just gas or not gas. I'm gonna have to start tapping it real quick, but I don't think it takes that kind of input properly. That was a horrible race. The car itself didn't like to move where I wanted it to either. Could just be a skill issue. Let's move on to the next one. A different car, please. Let's do the 355. Let's do yellow. Why not? North Country.
Here at the crossroads of Northern Europe, a variety of cultures and influences come together, offering a wide range of driving challenges for beginners and experts alike. A modern autobahn cuts through this pastoral community where fields of tulips and windmills give way to rolling alpine foothills. The treacherous switchbacks that wind down through a storybook castle allow for some intense competition. And keep in mind that the fastest route here is not always the most obvious.
Alright, so this one poses again its own set of challenges. So that winding part of the track, I remember having trouble with as a kid all the time. Let's see how I do. Go! I think this is one of the tracks that I remember the most as a kid. Probably because it has a theme park in it. But so far, this feels like the slowest of the bunch. Man, this car is not moving at all. Oh yeah, and the castle portions are also memorable. At least they're kid anyway. Oh, this car is not turning at all. Oh. Alright, let's try to stick with the pack this time around. These are the simulation physics. Or I don't know what exactly changed. It just feels like the wheels tend to slip more. Especially at low speeds, which I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, if you step on the gas at low speed, you're gonna likely burn rubber with these cars. But I mean, at the same time, how are you supposed to control that in a game that doesn't have, you know, like pressure sensitive keys? Come on, turn. Got it. Why are they all the same car? Oh, that was too much twist, too much. I lost too much speed there. All right, look at that. Look at the. I'm pretty sure the wheel movement isn't real in this game. So I'm pretty sure it's not rendering real motion in the wheels. You know, it's just the shape and then a texture that gets either alternated or, you know, I think it's a specific texture for when the wheels are spinning and like two different textures, one for when they're speeding up and obviously a static one for when the car is not moving. But you know, it's all just texture work.
Final lap.
You know, these games are 90% texture work and making things look more dimensional than they really were, which I feel like game development has kind of gone back to this, but with obviously much better tools and methods to make the textures look better. And there's also, like, I believe they're called normal maps that allow them to, you know, have the textures react with light and stuff like that to make them look more three-dimensional. All those shaded spots in the car, you know, that's actually just a darker part of the texture, not actually a shadow. The shadow that the car is casting, I believe, is a texture that's just transparent, and it just, you know, it's stuck to the car. So it's not an actual shadow, so to speak. It just looks like one. Oof. I do believe the game is running at my native resolution, which is 1440p. Obviously, there was no widescreen support back in those days, so we got the 4:3 aspect ratio. But it is running at native resolution with, I believe, 8 times multi-sampling. I've forced on anisotropic filtering, a couple other things in the NVIDIA panel to try and maximize, you know, how the game looks. Oh, come on. Even though it might be on a... even though it's a much older game, you know, it's still presentable in that sense here. There's not too many jaggies. I mean, you can see the fringing on the edges of some of the textures because it's, you know... I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be blown up to this level. I mean, this game probably natively ran at 640 by 480, maybe 8 by 600. You know, depending on how fast your computer was back in those days. Alright, so let's go ahead. Ooh, that's why I won that first race. So I was in the wrong in the wrong category. Whoops. Let's see. Out of these, I think the Ford Indigo is the best option. I think I was thinking that, you know, oh my gosh, this game is such a Ford advertisement. Oh no, I forgot the track description. Let's try that again. Let's just go. Like I was mentioning before, look at that. The shadow of the wing on the engine cover is not a real shadow, you know, it's just they drew the texture like that. And it gives the illusion of a shadow. Oh my goodness. I almost lost that. But I've never really played this game fully like this. No, or I should say seriously. You know, as a kid, you know, I was playing them you know, casually. Oh. And likely with, you know, beginner settings and as many handicaps as the game will give you, like, you know, slower opponents with a faster car. Trying to make it as fair here. I realized the first race was not fair. Oh. But I'm starting to get the hang of this driving style again. Hope it doesn't change too much if I set it to wild. I don't think I've ever tried that. Oh, come on. Oh. Let's go. Oof. Ooh. Come on, reset. Cause a pile up. What is it waiting for? That's right, the sidewalk is not drivable. Come on, come on.
Final lap.
But yeah, I mean, it's a fun little racing game. You know, I had a blast as a kid. So much so that we were browsing our local Sam's Club back in the day, probably around 99 or 2000, and we came across a game for sale, and I saw that it was a Need for Speed game. I was like, oh wow, you know, I didn't know there was other Need for Speed games. So that happened to be Need for Speed High Stakes. And I was telling my dad, like, hey, my uncle obviously has Need for Speed 2, and I see him play it all the time, so he probably would like a new game too. And so we got it for him on his birthday. Or for his birthday. I don't remember if it was on his birthday. But yeah, no. Yeah, this game definitely fed and encouraged my love of cars. If not for just simply just being interested in the cars that I was seeing. My favorite cars in the game were the GT90 and the F50.
The Indigo wins!
Finally. With the Hammerhead car.
Congratulations, you've won the race. You've got a top 10 time for this track.
10th place. But let's look at that description, my bad. Then we can also skip on to the next one.
From trendy city streets to old-growth rainforest, this track is a virtual year-round playground. Starting off in the metropolitan heart of downtown, this fast-paced road trek quickly leaves the city behind for more natural surroundings. Nestled between calm Pacific waters and majestic mountains, a weather-torn highway winds through an enchanted old-growth forest where you can catch glimpses of an ancient native settlement. A twisting ascent into the mountains will leave you breathless, but prepared for the race back down the slopes to the city.
Alright, that was supposed to be Canada. Alright, next one is...
The ancient roads of this tiny island will challenge even the most advanced drivers as they wind their way past crumbling ruins and through claustrophobic village streets. Successful racers must become intimately aware of the many perils on Mediterranean or risk becoming part of their own Greek tragedy. The turquoise waters encircling this island contain secrets and treasures of many past civilizations. But don't be too distracted by the beautiful Mediterranean vistas, or you may just wind up ancient history.
Wow, so edgy. Thought I had set it to Class B. I mean, come on. No wonder I won again. I think this is the track that I remember second most.
3, 2, 1, go!
Got all that wheel spin. Oh, it's a blind drop. Oh, that's a bump. Oh, I'm flying. Well, I'm in the air. Not good. Alright. Come on. Oof. I wasn't expecting that impact to be so harsh. Come on. Oh, come on. That's some bull. This car handles like poop compared to the other car. Ford Indigo was definitely probably the top of that class, of this class of cars. Come on. This car doesn't want to turn. So one thing that others have mentioned that I've seen play this game is that the cars in this game tend to understeer, and yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. If you hit the brakes, you kind of lock them up too. So it becomes harder to turn while you're braking sometimes. But just look at that. It does not want to move over. I have to kind of tap the e-brake to get the car to turn how I want it to. But then you have to be careful not to overdo it, because then of course you start sliding and lose a lot of speed. Finding that mix of slowing down just enough to turn properly and then give it a nudge with the e-brake to help the car rotate. There we go. Alright, let's catch back up. Remember the big drop here? Oh, careful. There's gonna be some more perilous twists here. Oh. Come on. Yes. I think I was mentioned before, Need for Speed was originally trying to focus on simulation, but with the introduction of the second game was when they started to lean more towards arcade. I think Need for Speed High Stakes was like the real turning point for them as far as which direction they would finally take. Need for Speed was a like almost perfect mix of arcade to sim, in particular when it came to the crashing and damage systems of the game. Oh, come on. Because in that game, you get real-time damage and deformation with consequences, like, you know, your taillights going out, your headlights going out. I mean, and all that also affecting your performance, like top speed, turning radius, you know, big jumps screw up your suspension.
You've got a top 10 time for this track.
But after High Stakes, I think they just threw that all out of the window. And just started to lean more into the arcade style. They did eventually try to come back to sim racing. With, I believe, Pro Street kind of leaning more towards that. Still pretty arcadey though. But then with the Shift series, they really try to come back to more sim-like racing. Oh, I guess we're on the last one.
For thousands of years, this remote region in the Himalayas has remained shrouded in mystery. Only the most fearless come here to test their skills on this treacherous roadway. Drivers experienced or lucky enough to survive the wind-swept cliffs, crystal caves, and perilous corners of this track will enjoy an elevated consciousness as they race upwards to the Great Temple. While pondering the meaning of life and gazing at the ancient ruins, don't forget to keep an eye on the road, or you may find your karma at the bottom of a 1,500-foot chasm.
Alright, looks like we're on the final track. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use my favorite car in the game. I'm not sure how well it's gonna do here. Let's you know what? Let's turn on that wild. See what that does. Yeah, I mean, this game would also kind of foreshadow my interest in music. So, growing up, I was really into techno, you know, drum and bass, things like that. Which in my family was not common, I guess. You know, my mom listened to the likes of ABBA, Hall & Oates. What other things? A lot of stuff in Spanish. Cyndi Lauper. A lot of pop stuff, you know. And here I am over here listening to techno. Freaking Darude Sandstorm. I believe kind of started with the Need for Speed games, and then actually Machines is where it really started. Machine soundtrack I still carry on with me wherever I go on my phone, and it's basically on every device that I've been able to put it on ever since I discovered that I could listen to the music. This game's music is good. It's catchy. It fits. And I was worried about letting the music come through, but I believe the game is old enough, so it doesn't really matter too much. Also, I believe the music is for the game itself. It's not like, you know, music pulled off the top 100 like a lot of the newer Need for Speed games do. Which I'm probably gonna have to turn off the music in the newer Need for Speed games. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, what are these wild physics? I guess that's it, huh? Lots of air. Lots of grip. Because I'm not feeling any sliding here. The last time that I remember playing this map, we were all over the place. So I think the wild is just fast and grippy. There doesn't seem to be any terrain changes to grip. Ooh, so I guess if you want to have the most fun, I guess the wild would probably be the best bet. But if you want a challenge, I guess sim would probably be your best option. Oof. No. I was doing so well. Oh, look at that. Early 3D jank. Ooh, I didn't mean to make him do that. Sorry. Oh. Come on, come on, come on. Go, 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 go. We got this. Straighten right out. Oof. I don't remember if those boxes are dangerous or not. What you honking for? You're pushing into me. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any gravity. Or what do you call it? Going uphill doesn't make you slower. You're not fighting gravity. There you go. Ooh. How come he didn't slide off? He like stopped right at the edge. No. When I go off the edge, I actually go off the edge. Come on. Oof. So actually, this feels a lot like the newer Need for Speeds.
Congratulations, you've won the race.
There you have it. That's a pretty basic synopsis of what this game is.
You just beat the best time.
Not even a synopsis. Oh, I got the best time on the track.
You just beat the best lap time for this track.
Yeah, that's all the tracks. I think there is one more track that you can unlock. You have to do a couple of tournaments. Let's see here. The tournaments, I believe, just take you through all the tracks at 4 laps per track. That was... Oh, you don't get to choose the opponents either. That was just too long in my book. The last race was like almost 16 minutes long with 4 laps. I feel like, yeah, it's just too long. So I just decided to do single races with 2 laps per track and just kind of going through all the cars. But yeah, I mean, if you want to try and experience this game, I would not. It's a fun game to play. even today. If you want to feel what it used to be like to play games back in the day, you know, this would be a good option. This is typical of what we had back in those days. But it's definitely one of the earliest games I remember playing. And from here on, I believe I was introduced to machines soon after this game. So let's see here. For Speed 2, then Machines, yep. So I mean, my next PC game that I'm going to be doing is Machines. That one I'm probably going to do a proper playthrough. So I'm not too sure how I'm going to split that up. If permission, or if the missions take long enough, cut it up, because that game is going to be tough. Especially getting towards the end. But, I mean, I hope you enjoyed watching me play Need for Speed 2 SE. And I hope to see you in the next video.